some space on your mat. And let's get going. So just standing with your feet hip distance apart and your knees soft. And just bring your awareness across to your pelvis, hands on the brim of your pelvis, and just start by doing some gentle tilts of your pelvis forwards and backwards. Imagining that pelvis is a big bucket of water and you're just spilling your water out the front and the back of your bucket. Brilliant stuff. Okay, let's just come to where your pelvis rests level. Oh, hopefully, Sally, you can find somewhere to rest your camera as well. Good, and then relax your arms down by your side. I want you just to gently start to draw your tummy towards your spine. So just below your belly button, start to tighten here, only about 50%, and hold that tension as you start just to roll through your shoulders. That looks good, Sally. Good, so gentle tension through your tummy and just nice big rolls through those shoulders. Breathing in as the shoulders roll up and out as they come down again. Lovely, we've got 3 more. Keep gently drawing in through your lower tummy. 2 more. And 1 more, lovely. And then just drop the shoulders down away from the ears and release that tension. We're going to do the same again, but this time we're going to work through the pelvic floor. So gently drawing from your back to your front passage and then roll the shoulders forwards, round and down this time. So just starting to bring a little bit of an awareness to those deeper tummy muscles, those deeper pelvic muscles. If you find it hard to hold that contraction with your pelvic floor, just relax and reset. It's that action of trying to stop yourself from passing wind. You've got 3 more circles with those shoulders. Make them feel good. Lovely. And then after your next one, just drop your shoulders down into your back pockets. Okay, we're going to roll the head round and down along the chin. Sorry, the chin along the chest. And up and over to the opposite side. So just a half circle with your head. Just gently pressing your chin to your chest and then taking your ear over to your shoulder. Just let your head feel really heavy. The back of the neck opens up as your head rolls down. Good, let's do 2 more on each side. Just really loosening off those necks and shoulders. 1 more. Great work, everyone. Okay, then stack your head back on top of your shoulders and create a nice long neck as if a balloon is just floating up towards the ceiling. Okay, check back in on the pelvis. Make sure your bucket of water is still level. Shoulders are down into your back pockets. We're going to breathe in and we're going to float up onto tiptoes and then come back down again. So a little bit of balance work here. So if you need to, find yourself a wall or a steady, stable surface just to gently rest your fingers on. But super simple, nice and controlled heel raises, keeping your pelvis level, keeping your shoulders down, and maybe just gently drawing in at the front of the tummy. Good, well done, everyone. Don't worry if you lose your balance, just join back in again when you're ready. Good, okay, let's add the arms with this. So we're going to float the arms up just to shoulder height and then back down again. And I want you to really focus on those shoulder blades. So as the arms go up, the shoulder blades are going to float down and tuck into your back pockets. We're going to try and avoid that rib cage from flaring forwards. So keep that lower tummy gently drawn in towards your spine, and that will help to do so. Good. Okay, we're going to build on this little series of balance work with your feet. So if at any point the next stage becomes more challenging, just stick with what we're already doing. Next time we're going to pause at the top. So lift up and hold. 2, 1, and back down. Lovely. Same again. So just floating up and holding. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Just take those hands just out in front of you, not over the top. So your hands are just at shoulder height. That's it, lovely. Now if that hold feels like it's too much of a challenge, just go back to lift and lower. We've got 2 more, with or without the hold. Good. And down. Those calves should be feeling mighty warm now. Okay, next stage, we're going to add a little bend of the knees as we're up on tiptoes. So we float up. Now that pause now turns into a bend of the knees. Then we push back up to stand and we lower down. So up onto tiptoes, bend the knees, keep the heels lifted if you can, stand back up and come down. Good, little foot series here. Keep those shoulders down into the back pockets. The rib cage is drawn down towards the waist and the tummy gently tucked in towards the spine. Good, we've got 3 more. Now remember, you don't have to add the knee bends. You don't have to pause at the top. You could just come up and down on your heels. Good, 1 more. Good, now bend those knees. Bring your hands down by your side and begin to pulse. Now if you want to, if your heels feel too hard lifted, you can lower those heels down towards the mat. So you could be here and pulsing or here and pulsing. So either with the heels up or down. I better start counting now. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. So you're looking about 2 feet in front of you. Gently pull your tummy towards your spine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Lovely, come up to stand and shake it all out. Well done, everyone. Okay, we're going to take the feet a little bit wider now. So step nice and wide along the length of your mat and just turn your toes to the corners of the room. And we're going to repeat that kind of sequence again from here. But before we do that, let's just do a few pelvic tilts because it does feel slightly different with the feet spread into that wider position. Okay, and then when you're ready, find that level pelvis. And this time we're just going to reach up and over into our long mermaid stretch and then come back to the centre and over to the opposite side. So just let those bodies move nice and freely, remembering that things might have stiffened up a little bit over the last few days or weeks or so. Just allow your breathing to slowly flow you into those movements. Keep moving from side to side. I'm just going to come and check in on all of you and check that you're all still with me. Yeah, that's lovely. All still here, looking good. Well done. Now watch those shoulders don't creep up towards your ears. Keep those shoulders nice and tucked away from the ears. That's much better. Well done. Okay, take it to one side. I'm going to hold it there. Hold it there. Really push the opposite foot into the floor and feel that separation between the pelvis and the ribs. Breathe deeply, then come back to the centre and over to that second side. And again, really see if you can plant that foot down into your mat and reach up and over, but without losing that lovely long neck. Beautiful, and come back to the centre. Okay, shake everything out a little bit. Right, back to that foot series now. It's going to feel a little bit harder. So if you need to, you could hold on to the back of your sofa, hold on to a chair, hold on to a relative, depends who's close by. Okay, so toes towards the corners of the room. Level pelvis. Now see if you can push up onto tiptoes. Feels a lot harder from here and down. And again, come up and down. Good. We're not going to hang about here quite so long because it's harder in this position. So let's add those arms. So bring the arms up to shoulder height and down. Well done. Arms up and down. Okay, so remember, you could just stay here and work beautifully hard on those calf muscles, or you can join me and add a little pause at the top. So we come up and we hold, 2, 1 and down. Lovely, same again, float up, 3, 2, 1 and down. If the hold is too much, just lift and lower. We've got 2 more, 2, 1 and down. Good. Next time we're going to add that little knee bend in instead of pulsing, okay, pausing, sorry. So we come up, we bend the knees, we push up and we lower down with the heels. So toes up, knees bent, stand straight, heels down. Yes, it's a lot to think about. Getting those brains working again after Christmas. Good. Let's just do 3 more with whatever option it is you're doing. 2 more, and don't worry if your brain just isn't in gear. I'll forgive you. Okay, we're going to hold that knee bent position, okay? So either with the heels lifted or we lower the heels down. Bring your arms out to the side this time, and we're going to pulse up and down. Tighten the tummy, so you're either here or you're here. Off we go. 10, 9, 8, tuck the tailbone underneath. 6, 5, squeeze the hips, open the knees as much as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. And slowly come up to stand and give everything a shake. Now, I don't know about you, but that definitely got my heart rate up. So let's come down onto the mat now, so we can have a little bit of a moment to do some strength stuff and lower the heart rate down. So we're going to come down with a few roll downs just to loosen everything up. Let's do it with the feet wider, but just turn your toes forwards this time. Start standing nice and tall. We know what we're doing with our roll down. So we've stood against a wall, and we're going to start by peeling our spine down and away from the wall, trying to move one bone at a time. Now really take your time with these. Just try and loosen off those bones one by one, along your spine. Get to the bottom and have a breath at the bottom. And then you can stack yourself back up. Oh, everyone's looking good. We haven't forgot it all. Good work. Okay, try. Knees can be soft, but try not to completely bend them. That's it. Roll down. Beautiful. Looking good. And just enjoy that slow, steady movement through your spine. Okay, let's use this next one to travel down onto the mat. So just slowly take yourself down and then bend your knees. So bring yourself onto the mat, and we're going to come into our box position. So I'll give you a moment to adjust your cameras if you need to. For those of you that don't do box position, then you can rest on your forearms if your wrists need a little bit of a slightly different option. So you could be here, or the majority of you will be here. So find yourself in that position, adjust your cameras if you need to. We're just going to start with a nice simple cat-cow stretch, so you can join in when you're feeling ready. So we're going to tighten the tummy towards the spine, and we're going to tuck the tailbone underneath. Draw the chin towards the chest and push through the heels of the hands to separate the shoulder blades. Then we go the opposite way. We arch the back, we drop the tummy to the spine, tails in the air, and we look forwards or upwards. And again, just back to your cat stretch. So really trying to mobilize all of those bones in the spine. Appreciate how much movement your spine has. And then come back down again. Good, keep it going. Now, if you need to at any point, oh, Chris, you've joined Mike. If you need to at any point, you can just shake those hands off and join back in again. Lovely. Oh, well done, Elaine. That looks beautiful. Lovely, Helen. Nice mobility there through that spine. Okay. Now, you can stick with this, or if you want something that's a little bit more out there, we're going to try and draw a circle with our heads. So nice big circle, round and round with the neck. Show you what that looks from the front up. So looking down towards the floor and then up towards the ceiling. Now, as you start to do that, see if you can get your pelvis to join in with the same movement. So you're circling your pelvis as your head circles. So the whole of your spine is going round and round. I've got you doing this at home, because you're going to feel quite self-conscious, but it doesn't matter because you're not in a hall full of people. Just enjoy how good that movement feels. And you're kind of circling in between your cat and cow stretch. Shall we try and reverse it? Oh, can't do it. Can't do it the other way. Oh, there we go. So change direction with those circles. Give it a go. Keep it going. If it doesn't work and you just can't get it, just go back to cat-cow, because that's basically what we're trying to achieve. It's that lovely round movement through the spine. Okay, and then just sit back towards your heels and stretch your arms out in front of you. Good stuff. Well done. So hopefully that's loosened us off now through the spine. So we're going to move on to some strength work for the whole of the back of the body. So we've got two levels here. The first level I'll show now, but it translates quite nicely onto the second level. So you're going to be back in your box position. For those of you that need to, you can be resting on your forearms. Think opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping the spine nice and level. You're going to slide the hand and foot along the mat. So opposite arm, opposite leg, until they're completely stretched away, and then we slide back in again. So the goal here is that you've got a tray of drinks resting on your back, and as you lengthen the opposite hand and foot away from each other, you're not going to spill that tray of drinks. And we alternate side to side. So right hand, left foot, back in again, and then left hand, right foot. Now you've probably worked out, so this is your level 1. You've probably worked out what level 2 looks like. So we start the same way by stretching the hand and feet along the mat. And then we try and see if we can float the hand and foot up in line with the body. Now, as you do that, try to take care to avoid the back from arching. So keep your spine long. Also, keep looking down towards the floor. Try to avoid the temptation of looking upwards and towards your hand. So the aim is a long spine. It doesn't really matter what your hands and feet are doing. It's the control around the spine that's going to give us that nice strength. Oh, looking good, Helen, well done. That's great, Sally. Some of you I can see, some of you I can't, but I'm sure it's all going well. Looks good, Mark and Chris. Yes, Elaine, lovely, Liz. Okay, I want you to choose one side and you're going to hold it. Whatever option, arm lifted or down, opposite arm, opposite leg, and hold it there. Good. Keep holding, keep breathing, keep holding. If the hold is too hard with the hand and leg lifted, just gently press your foot down. That's it, shake it out and join back in when you're ready. We're going to go over to the opposite side now, so if you need to, now's probably a good time to swap. So remember, the hold is harder, so you might want to bring your hand and foot down, or you could just lift the arm or just lift the leg. Whatever option, keep holding. You're looking great. Be strong and steady. 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Come down and sit back to those heels and give those hands a little shake out. Really nice work. It's amazing how even just a 5 count hold can really add in some intensity. Okay, we don't have much time to rest in these classes, so we're going to come straight onto the side of the body and we're going to work the outer side of the hip. So if you can set yourself up for a clam, either with your hand resting for your head, or you can rest flat. I don't mind, whatever works best for you. So you've got your knees bent and your feet, your hips and your spine are all in line. So I'll give you a moment to set up there. I know sometimes you need to change your cameras around. So just remember, for those of you that want to, think about stacking your hips on top of one another so that you're lengthening your top waist and lifting the underside of your waist off the floor. So you've got a little space underneath just to gently pass your fingertips under. Okay, you can either have your hands gently pressed out in front of you. That will give you a little bit more stability. If you want to work a little bit harder, the hand can rest on the hip. And then we keep the feet gently pressed together as we float the top knee up towards the ceiling. Now keep a count of these because we're going to do 6 in total, followed by a count of 6 to hold at the top. Now remember, with the clam, it's all about that control around this top hip. So as that knee rotates up towards the ceiling, try not to let your hip rotate behind you. So you're really isolating that movement to the hip and out of the spine. So once you've done your 6, you're going to float your knee up towards the ceiling and you're going to hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back down again and then repeat those first 6. So when you're doing your hold, it's a really good opportunity to tune back in with your pelvic floor or your deep tummy muscles, or both at the same time, and see if you can engage and hold them as you hold that knee lifted. Okay, keep it going. So fairly simple, but really precise. So once you've done your 6, you're going to hold at the top for a count of 6, and then join back in again with your repetitions. So hopefully you've all got that. So it's 6 repetitions and then a 6 count hold. So you could be here with your hand supporting you, or you could be here with your hand on your hip. Or if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can bring your feet off the floor. So it's just the bottom knees touch down towards the floor now and come into your level 2 clam. So this is a bit more of a challenge. So you don't have to do this option. You can stick with what you're already doing. You're going to go for that level 2 clam now. Make sure you don't lose that little space underneath your waist. Sometimes we end up squashing down into the floor. So remember, guys, take a rest if you need to, and then join back in. Just going to keep it fairly simple, but really nice, precise around that hip. So hopefully you start to feel the top of the hip getting nice and warm now. Good. Well done. Oh, that looks very romantic, Chris and Mike. Looking great. Okay. Well done. Nice control there, Elaine. Good work, Liz. Working hard, I can see. Okay. Let's all take it to a hold. So just bring yourself into hold, either with the feet lifted or lowered. And we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Lower down. Hello, Ray. My little boy's just walked downstairs. Okay, so we're going to come onto our backs now, and we're going to work onto our tummy exercises. So set yourself up into your rest position. You've got your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and just do a few of your pelvic tilts from here. So we're trying to flatten the small of the back into the mat, and then we're just easing it away. And just keep rolling on and off the small of your back. It just feels so nice to come back into that small movement that really gives us a lot of awareness of our lower back. So then find your neutral spine. So that's where you've got ever so gentle pressure, but not complete pressure of the small of your back on the mat. And we're going to take it into hundreds. So for hundreds, we're just pulsing those arms. Let's gently draw the tummy to the spine at the same time. Keep pulsing. Now, for those of you that want a little bit more, you can bring it into a double tabletop. So we're going to float the feet off the mat. You might want to just increase the pressure of your spine onto the mat to bring into that double tabletop, and keep going with your pulsing. If that feels like it's too much, feet stay down and we just keep pulsing. There's not a lot of tummy work this evening, so feel free to give yourself a bit of a challenge. Oh, I like that, Mike, went for it. Good work. Everybody's looking great. Lovely form. You just take your rests and join in when you need to. Okay, keep pulsing. Lovely. Watch those shoulders, haven't crept up towards your ears. That's it, down and away. Okay, we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Hug those knees towards your chest for me and stretch out your lower back. Well done, everyone. So hopefully that's just brought a little bit of awareness to those tummy muscles. We're going to work now into strength and control with the tummy muscles. So we're going to do this with our scissors. So scissors is where we come in and out of tabletop. So remember that tray of drinks that was resting on our back earlier? It's now resting on our waist. And we're going to float one leg up into tabletop without spilling our tray of drinks. And then we're going to bring it down onto the mat. And we're going to bring the other leg up into tabletop. So remember, with your tabletop, your knees stacked directly over your hip and your knee is bent at a 90-degree angle. So no feet up here, no feet down here, just here. Okay, so here is your option one. Beautiful control of that tray of drinks resting on your waist. Now, for those of you that feel like you've got a fairly steady tray of drinks, you can come with me into option two. So as one leg lifts, the other leg lowers, and we get a scissoring between those two movements. Now, the aim here is to move the feet without arching the back. So if that pulls at all in your spine, and you can't control that with maybe bringing in a little bit more of a tummy tightening, or even gently pressing the small of your back into the mat ever so slightly more, then just come back to this first option of letting one leg lift and lower. The more you practice this, the sooner you'll be able to get onto this option, but it's not, I wouldn't advise going into this second option if you can't do it without control, because you won't get the benefits that we want out of it. So that's it. Take those rests when you need to. That's great. Yeah, hug those knees towards your chest and then join back in again whenever you're ready. Lovely. Just remember your hands are gently resting down by your side. Good. Okay, and then I want you to pause with one leg in tabletop position. So you've got your knee stacked directly over your hip. That's it, rub those legs out, Sally, join in when you're ready. And we're going to come back to our hundreds here. So we've got one leg in tabletop and we're pulsing the arms, okay? Keep pulsing those arms. Now, if you want to work slightly harder, you can add a head and shoulders lift. So you float the head and shoulders off the mat, keep a nice space between your chin and your chest, and you're looking just above your knee. Okay, but if that option isn't for you, then just keep working with your single tabletop. I'm going to count you down: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, keep the arms where they are, swap the legs, second tabletop, and then come to pulse. So either with the head lifted for more of a challenge, or if that feels like it's too much, or you did it the first time around and you don't want to do it again, that's fine. But just pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, lovely, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great stuff. Okay, hug those knees towards your chest and take a breath. Super, we are almost out of time. So I just want you to have a little rock from side to side with your knees, just to lengthen out the back. Just lengthen out the tummy as well. Gently rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back onto our side, but this time the opposite hip. So we're going to do our clam sequence again, but on the opposite side. So you can either flip over or come to the opposite end of your mat, whichever is best for you. So I'm going to go straight into it because we know what's coming. But just remember, your feet, knees are bent, your feet, hips and spine are all in line, and you've got a nice level hip for your cup of tea to rest. So remember, we've got 6 repetitions followed by a 6 count hold. Okay, level 2 guys, your feet are off the floor and you're working through that same plan. So either feet down for level 1 or feet up for level 2. So count your 6 and then hold. And then join back in again. Okay, keep going with these. Last little push, last little bit. And then you can go back to the rest of your turkey if you've got any left. Very nice. Good, good, good. Looking really strong. Okay, last little push. I'm going to join you for one more round. And then if we all come to hold, so lift and hold, wherever you are, come to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, come down. Lower those feet down and just roll onto your backs and hug your knees and gently rock from side to side. Beautiful work, everybody. Okay, we're just going to stretch out for 1 minute before we run out of time. So I just want you to stretch one leg away from you, hug your knee towards you, and then see if you can just pull it across your body, and that will just take you into a bit of a stretch through that side hip, through what we've just been working. Good stuff. Okay, unfold that leg and swap over, knee to chest, and maybe pull across. Good stuff. And unfold. Okay, bending your knees, feet on the mat, and then just roll onto your side, where you can rest for a while longer if you need to, or when you're ready, just bring yourself slowly up to sit